Hey, happy Wednesday, everyone. This is Eliana from Me2Beauty, and today I'm going to do a live with Rob Maraby. He's just messaged me to let me know, to tell him, to let him know when to come on. I'm just waiting here a little bit. And all right. Hey, Roger. So we're going to be starting soon. I'm just waiting for some people to come on. How's the weather over there by you? I know that here in Florida is chilly. We're getting like 50-degree weather. Hey there. Okay, people are coming on. So happy Wednesday, everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a live with Rob Maraby. He is a detox specialist, and he is going to talk about how to heal yourself with herbs and fruits, as well as we're going to talk about iridology. I'm trying to get my glasses in here good so I can see. So let me see if I can get him on. Let's see. Rob. Give me a second. So I'm trying to get him on here. I don't know. Give me a second while we get it together. You know, some people don't know how to get on alive with someone else. So let me check it out to see if I can get him to come on. Okay. Hey there. How you doing? Hold on just a second. We're going live. I'm waiting for Rob to come on. Let me see if I can find him. Hold on just a second. Okay, I'm having issues with Rob. Let me see if I can find him. We get him on here. Oh, here he goes. Hey. All right, I'm going to ask you to join me. Here we go. And he's going to be with us momentarily. The request. So I'm just waiting for Rob to come on. So we're going to be talking about, oh, here we go. Hey there.
Hello. How you
Hi.
doing?
How are you?
Good, thank you. And you?
Great. Thank you so much for coming on
It's a pleasure.
my live and helping us and telling us about how to heal ourselves. I'm so excited. So just a little bit, I want to tell people, I started to follow Rob on Instagram, and he was like, just everything he said resonated with me. And, you know, my audience and my followers know how much I believe, hey there, how much I believe in raw food diet and how difficult that is. But he just was like swinging in 2 seconds, like, okay, this is happening with you, this condition, do this, do that. I was like, I love it. I gotta get him on. So welcome. And even though I had a little introduction. Can you just tell the folks out there, introduce yourself and tell them what you do?
Okay. Yeah, so my name is Rob Maraby, also known as Raw Maraby. Okay, and the reason why I'm called that way is because, like you just mentioned, I use raw foods to get the body better, to heal the body. So specifically, I use raw fruits. Okay, so when people come to me, normally they usually have an issue and they want to fix it. They've been to the doctors and stuff, and they can't fix themselves. And I come in to help them with the diet, show them how to fix themselves with the diet and the herbs. So I've been doing this for I've been in the raw field for quite a bit of time, but actually actively helping people for a few years now. Okay, so I do have quite a bit of experience in this, and the reason why I know what I know is from experience, and also because I have this ability to connect the dots, so to speak. So if someone comes to me and has an issue, I know how to just by looking at the eye. I usually sometimes I look at the eye iridology, which we'll discuss a bit. And I also know from what they tell me that there are so-called symptoms, what's involved and what's not involved, and how to remove obstructions causing these issues. So, yeah, in a nutshell, that's me. That's Raw Maraby. So my name is Maraby, last name, so it's Raw Maraby.
Where are you from, Maraby?
Originally from Ghana, West Africa.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm mixed. So I'm part Ghanaian and part Lebanese. So
Excellent. I love that. All right. So we're meeting today on our live, to be quite honest. And so I've been always interested in health. My main services are skin, but I knew for a long time that skin has to do with health, and everything is what you eat and what's going on with you and your energy, and your energy comes from food, right? And everything that you put in your body. So I'm fascinated with what you're doing. Before we start, I just want to thank you again. I did get a lot of questions yesterday, which I wrote down. Some people are on, some people are gonna come on later or listen to the recorded video later. But one of my listeners, he might be on already. I saw him earlier. His name is Erwin Rogers. He wants to know, why is detox important and how often should you do it?
Okay, so detoxification basically means it's a cleansing process. It's a cleansing process and then a rebuilding process. In actual fact, it's nothing. The name is actually taken out of context. The natural food for a human being is fruits.
Right.
Okay. The reason why we think detox is out there is because we're used to eating foods like cooked foods and processed foods, and eating fruits is not normal. But in actual fact, as a species, the human species is a tropical species. We came from the tropics. And I think it was Time magazine that confirmed it, a study, that the actual human being, we came from the tropics. So our diet was fruits. So because we spread out the globe and we live in locations that are not really good for the human species, we learn to eat cooked foods and starches and grains. But these are not foods for the human being. In other words, when you eat these foods, the body creates a mucosal response. So sometimes you're eating foods, and when you eat it, you realize that mucus is stimulated. You see, you want to spit it out. Your throat produces excess mucus. Well, that's the body telling you that it doesn't want this food in it, but you're putting it in it anyway. So it's trying to defend itself. So it creates mucus, and you get this.
Your voice went out.
So we call that excess mucus. So detox means basically going back to your roots. You're going back to your roots as a species, and using the fruits that you were designed to eat to cleanse the body. So when you eat fruits, it's very, very little mucus response. Every single food we eat has some kind of mucus response, but the level of mucus response is minimal, or even if not near to zero. So whenever you're trying to heal something, you want to stop eating the foods that are causing the excess mucus response, and eat the fruits so that you can cleanse the body. Because what happens is when you eat these acidic foods, your lymph system, which is the main immune system of your body, it's a picture it like a sewer system of the body. You have every single cell in your body will eat by the blood and will eliminate waste by the lymph system. The lymph system takes the waste through to the lymph nodes, where it's converted to a lesser acid, and then through to the kidneys, where it's eliminated. So if you continue eating these foods, what's going to happen is that the lymph system is going to get stagnant. It's going to get hard. So the river is not going to flow anymore. And this river contains acids. Remember, it contains acids, and it's in every cell, right? So it's going to affect your organ, tissue, and glands, your hormones, your kidneys, etc. And once the kidneys and the lymph system are affected, everything else gets affected. Everything starts backing up. And
Right.
for all of us, we have different weaknesses. Some people have hair issues, weaknesses are expressed in hair loss. Some people have skin issues expressed in the skin. Some people have liver issue weaknesses. Sorry. So everybody has different weaknesses based on your genetics, but
Correct.
it's expressed in that way first. But if you have an issue with the skin, it's everywhere. Your skin is just showing it, but it's the weakest link. But internally inside, you're all congested with mucus. So detox is basically a way of removing the excess mucus and acids in your body, causing the health issue, so the body can function properly again.
So I hear you saying fruits. I don't hear you saying vegetables. Is
Yes,
there?
because vegetables. I mean, although like it's good to have it, they're builders. They build the body up, but
I see. So
the,
you're saying fruits are more cleansing.
they're cleansers, yes, and also, I mean, if you're in the tropics and you eat just a fruit diet, like a fruitarian, you will thrive. Like, I mean, you will thrive. But when we live in North America, like, we both are, we don't have access to the fruits that in the
Or
tropics
in the
we have.
tropics, right?
But we use it to cleanse. We use it only as a cleanse. But if I was living at home, where I'm from Ghana, like I mentioned, and I could get access to fruits, I'd probably be close to a fruitarian, because I can pick ripe fruits, I can buy ripe fruits, and that's more than enough to sustain the body. But since we live in a environment where it's not natural, then we need the vegetables to supply us with the vitamins, minerals, etc., excess vitamin minerals that we need. But as a cleansing part, we need to focus on the fruits and fruits alone, because it's the only thing that can move mucus and break the mucus, as well as move the lymph system. No other food can do that. Even vegetables can't do that, because vegetables are
Oh,
not astringent. So when it comes to moving mucus, you need astringency. That means something that pulls and breaks mucus. And the only thing that can do that is the fruits. So that's
let
why
me.
I don't talk much about veggies, because people who come to me are looking to fix something. So I have to use the tools that are the best to fix it.
Gotcha,
Right,
gotcha.
right.
And then once you fix that, do you also recommend veggies, raw veggies?
Yes, yes. I think the average human diet should be 70% fruits and the rest raw veggies, and some cooked vegan food as well. That's the I think if you want to stay healthy and not have any health issues long run, you should be a high fruit diet with veggies, but never any
And
animal protein or animal products.
how long have you been in on this type of eating, if I
9 years
may?
now. 9 years.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
I
And
actually, my history is that I was a meat eater. I was a big meat eater. I was
I'm a
bodybuilder.
big meat eater.
Okay, there you go. So I mean, like, it all changed because I went to a raw vegan retreat. My wife told me, well, asked me if I wanted to go. I said sure, and we went there for 3 weeks, and my whole life transformed. And that was the beginning of the whole process. But I went from eating meat every single meal. I was taking 2 grams per pound of body weight of protein. I got a lot of aches and pains, a lot of issues in my whole body. When I went vegan in 2 weeks, everything raw vegan, everything went away. Literally, it was phenomenal. So it changed me. I never went back. I never touched meat again
One of
ever.
my followers says I almost stopped eating fruit because of all the sugar. I'm scared to eat it. Can you reply
Yeah,
to her?
well, this is a big lie that been brainwashed, because unfortunately we live in a society where money is the goal, right? So
Yeah.
they want to push special interests, medications, and the whole medical system is based on treating, not healing, right? And also you have industries like the dairy industry, and they have a special interest to push their products, which is understandable, but they create ad campaigns, and they create such information to confuse people, and people believe that fruits have too much sugar, but in actual fact, they don't. If you take a plate of fruits and a plate of pasta, the sugar content is a remarkable, big difference. Pasta has way much more sugar and harmful sugar, whereas the fruit has fructose. It's not harmful. It's cell food. It's a cleansing thing for the cells.
As
So
well as all the nutrients and benefits.
absolutely. And yeah, don't take my word for it. Like, all of you watching, you have to try it yourself. You have to. There's nobody who
Yeah.
goes on a fruit cleanse for a week, preferable 2 weeks. You're gonna see changes that will convince you that you're doing the right thing. I
Someone
really.
says here, my husband suffers from bad acid reflux.
Okay, acid reflux means that usually you're eating a high protein diet. So basically, what happens is that the body is producing too much acid, HCl, and this acid is not producing enough sodium bicarbonate to neutralize it. Plus, you're combining the wrong foods together. You're having protein and starches. When you consume protein, you stimulate the HCl production, acid reaction production to break down the protein, and you're eating starches that requires alkaline enzymes to break it down. They neutralize each other. Okay, but very often it means that the pancreas is weak, so you're producing way more acid than you should, and it sits on your chest and burns. But it could also mean it's interstitial. It could be far worse than I just explained. If it's interstitial, then you're heading towards Crohn's and IBS, and I would fix it immediately. I wouldn't waste any time.
Now, what would be, give us an example of what your day looks like what time you get up, what you eat during your day, and what time you go to bed.
Okay, so I spend most of my time on social media like this, helping people. So
That's wonderful.
yeah, I go to bed really late. I don't get enough rest. To be honest with you, my sleeping regimen is I sleep very well, but I don't rest enough. I'm actually very tired all the time. Not because of the situation I'm in. I'm like,
Right.
if
You're
you get
sacrificing yourself
exactly,
for
and
helping others, not because
absolutely.
you're negligent. Yeah.
No, yeah, no. I eat right. I try to sleep, but I don't get enough sleep. But I mean, the joy of helping somebody is more
Yeah.
fulfilling to me than
It
the.
probably gives you good energy anyway.
Oh, absolutely. But when you see the actual pain people suffer from, it's really it drains you out, and then you see that they write back to you and they're saying, "Oh, you helped me, you did this," and then that kind of balances out. So, yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
it
great thing. So,
does.
yeah.
When you reach and you help someone, it fills you with
It's the
food for
it's
your
the
heart,
Oh my God, it's the best. Like I wish I knew this like years and years ago when I was a child. Like I mean, if you can help somebody, if you can serve somebody, um, everything you ever wanted reward wise is given to you without you asking, because
Yeah.
the
I
level.
love that.
Yeah, it's. I wish I could tell everybody this. Like they don't understand. Forget about yourself. Help other people, and yourself is taken care of. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's
give,
what
give.
fuels me.
So the other thing, the other question that I have here is, I have clients, and one in particular that asked me to ask you. She, exercises. Obviously, she's not on a. Most people are not on an all fruit diet,
Of course,
but
yeah.
she suffers from chronic rosacea on her skin,
Okay,
and it's chronic. I mean, it bleeds.
okay, yeah. So, skin issues are the worst, meaning that when you get skin issues, your body has got to the point where it can't take it anymore. Like so, basically, when you eliminate, remember I told you that every cell eliminates waste. So the waste taken to the lymph system to the kidneys. If the kidneys, when you're eating the protein and starches, your kidneys are going to start not working properly, and your lymph system is going to get stagnant. So this stagnation, because the kidneys are not working properly to filter out waste, the skin will take the burden. But the skin is not
Right.
efficient in eliminating this waste like the kidneys do. So it's going to back up, and it will begin to back up in your skin, and it will take a bit of time. But then when it expresses itself, it means that it's really far gone.
Chronic, right?
It's chronic. So it's going to take a bit of time, but and it can get worse before better, because when you take the fruits and the herbs, it's going to express all those acids out, and they have to come out. And because the kidneys are not filtering, you might see the skin erupt more temporarily before
Wow.
it gets better. So in such a case, the person has to go on 100% fruit diet and focus on the kidneys. You need a lot of kidney herbs and get the lymph system moving with the fruit diet, and focus on do some dry fasting to help the kidneys. And once you get kidney filtration, the acids will leave the skin and come to the kidneys and be expelled. And you
And how do
see,
you know when you reach that point?
okay, so everybody should know. So like in the morning, when you wake up in the morning, you got to get not a glass you drink from, obviously, but a glass jar you don't use, and you're gonna urinate in it. Okay,
Really?
yeah, and then you got to take this glass and you're gonna put it into light, and so you can see what's in it. And you should in your urine, so you should see sediment like snowflakes in it. Okay, when you see snowflakes in it, like mucus strands, it means your kidneys are filtering waste out. Now,
Oh,
contrary to
wow.
what is being taught out there, like professionals say that it should be clear. Your urine should be clear.
Clear. Your
Yeah,
urine should be clear.
that's very
This is
dangerous.
really good information.
It's not true though. If your urine is clear, you're in trouble, because
Oh,
where's the waste going, right?
got you.
It means if your urine is clear, it means the waste is going to your skin or to the bowels or something, and it's not efficient. So you're gonna have problems coming up. That's why most people don't see. They'll go to the doctor and they'll check the kidney numbers, everything's fine, but then they still have issues. And I'll tell them pee in a jar and see they have zero filtration. Well, that's your problem. The test doesn't show that, but I can see before it actually manifests itself. And that's where iridology comes in. Iridology can show you weakness in tissue before it actually manifests. So it's a bit like a is it the scan?
MRI.
Exactly. But it's not invasive. And also you see it way before it happens, way before.
I'm so glad that these type of treatments are coming back, because radiology has been around for a long time.
Thousands of years.
Thousands of years. I've actually gotten that when I was in my 20s.
Oh, yeah?
And it's been all that time. And I really want to, after this, I'm going to book something for you so you can,
Yes, we can see
mine.
Absolutely. It's pretty cool. Like, I mean, it's so accurate. Like, most people will tell me, they'll say to me, I can't believe you know this. No one knows this. Even my doctor doesn't know this. Like, I will tell them, oh, you have an issue of your left leg. And they'll say, like, there's no way you know about this. I said, well, it's clear. It shows. It's right there. The eyes don't lie. The eyes never lie, You know, the saying goes about eyes. It's very true.
You could see everything into someone's soul.
Everything. Everything. You can see eyes. I think nature or God, whoever you believe in, designed everything for us
perfectly.
Yes. Give us the herbs, give us the fruits. Even the Bibles and stuff, they have references to it. I don't have the actual quote, but I know there are quotes in all the holy books about herbs and fruits being the foods of mankind. But, it's been buried. If you look at the old ancient drawings of the Greeks and Italians or whatever, you always see grapes or fruits being dangled.
That's correct.
You never see a piece of meat, right?
That's right.
They knew something that we didn't know, and then we just buried away the truth. So, yeah.
And here we go. My client also mentioned, and this is the age where I am in as well, menopause.
Oh, okay.
So what? I know you said fruits, but anything that you can suggest for women going through menopause? What herbs? What can they add?
100% fruits. First of all, I would go if it's very severe, and then I would use herbs for we have it. It's called reproductive F. So it's a reproductive formula for females, and what it does is that it kind of balances out the estrogen and progesterone levels.
Right. So that's basically what's happening.
Exactly. So when you have this problem, usually your hormones are out of whack. So you just have to get the glands working again. So there are herbs you can use for that. But the diet is important though. If you did take the herbs without the diet, you should get benefits, but not as good as if you went on the fruits and the herbs. I think anybody at that age seriously should consider going on a raw vegan. At least majority of the diet should be raw vegan, because as you get older, there's more likely to have more so-called diseases come up, right? Yeah. Especially if you have a protein in starches, it's going to make you very acidic. So everybody's diet should be to the alkaline side. A lot of fruits and veggies, and I know we're all humans. We all like our favorite foods. So there's nothing wrong with that, so long as you're not suffering. If you're suffering from a chronic condition, then you have to be 100% fruits until you fix it. Yeah.
Simply Dynamic posted a question. I get wicked headaches and migraines due to whiplash. Any suggestions?
So obviously your injury has not recovered yet. So again, you want to drain the acids from your neck regions, the whole body. So clean the gut. The gut has to clean. When you have headaches and stuff like that, also due to the gut, your gut's congested, and also your head has mucus, it's not being drained properly. So anywhere time you see pain of any kind, that's trapped acids. So it means your kidneys are not filtering. It means your lymph system is not moving. And so I would jump on 100% fruit diet. I would use the herbs. So we have herbs, we call it the Fabulous Five, and these herbs they target all the main systems of the body as a whole, a base. And it contains herbs for the kidneys, the adrenals, the lymph system, stomach and bowels, and the endocrine glands. Okay, yeah, it's right here. I mean, we call it the Fabulous Five. This is mine.
Fabulous Five. So can you tell the viewers where they can find this?
Oh, okay. Oh, it's on my website, mereherbals.info. And like you mentioned, I should give them a code. So if you want to, there's a code. It's called 20, like 20 OFF. And you can use that to get 20% off your order.
Look at that. So if you guys are interested, later on, we're going to continue with the live, but we'll mention it again so that you can get 20% off on herbs. But the most important thing I'm listening to you is that it's important to change your diet. I mean, that's the healer. Yeah. So I was getting back to let me get back to my question was, okay, how do you introduce raw fruits diet? I mean, it's tough when someone's been eating, drinking coffee in the morning, not eating,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
to make that transition without becoming irritable and sometimes not even functioning. Is there a way to like kind of, you know, go into
Transition,
that? Yeah,
transition. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, a saying I have here: don't if you don't make the decisions right now for yourself, life will make a decision for you, and it's going to be a tough decision. So, love yourself enough to make the small changes. Okay, this is very important. And the
I
first change
agree.
you do is that first of all, human beings, we should not be eating breakfast until after 11, if not 12.
I love that because you know, I've studied other and read other books about raw
Yeah,
diets, and they say different things on when to
yeah.
eat and what time to eat. And when I roll out of bed in the morning, I just want to hydrate myself
Yes,
and
and that's what you
detox
should
myself.
do. It should be preferably it should be the later the better, but preferably it should be water, fruit juices even before water, because the water in the fruit juice is H3O2, is structured water. It's the same kind of water chemistry in your blood. Whereas if you drink water, plain water, it's H2O. It has to be converted to H3O2. So the fruit juices are more hydrating than water. I know that's
Wow.
crazy, but it's the truth. You don't want to give anybody water when they're acidic, a lot of water, because you get edema.
Right,
Okay.
because it just makes the
Yeah,
acid, it
it's
waters it
called.
down, but it spreads it.
Yeah, well, no, water is one of the it's nature's greatest solvent, but also it's buffering agent. Like body uses cholesterol, calcium, and water to buffer acids. So if your body is highly acidic, it's going to use the water to protect itself and to retain the water like a cushion. So it's not always
Which
the
many
best.
people have said. I drink, I'm swollen and I drink a lot of water, but I'm
Yeah,
still
not a good
swollen.
idea. No, you want to do some dry fasting to kind of get the kidneys to filter. Once the kidneys start filtering, the water will leave you. Okay, the water is there because it's trying to protect you. So you need to alkalize the body with the fruits and use the herbs as well as dry fasting. But back to your question about transition. So people trying to get into such a diet should have fruit juices and nothing but fruit juices for breakfast. Okay, or fruits. I mean, fruit juices first and then fruits later. So let's say you got up, you're hungry because you have parasites in you. When you get hungry or you're craving, it's parasites. Okay, you
Wow.
always want to
So
make
we
sure.
all pretty much have parasites.
Yeah. Oh no, 99% of all of us have parasites in us. We don't even know about it. Okay, but the reason why you get hungry is because they require starches and they require the bad foods because you've been feeding them all along, so they're used to it. And so they create this response in us to eat. So always when you use the herbs, get a parasite tincture. Always, and take parasite fungus tincture and worm tincture as well to get rid of the worms and the parasites. But I would go on the fruit juices in the morning, and then if I'm hungry, an hour later or 30 minutes later, have solid fruits. Lunch, have a salad.
Solid fruits.
Yeah, and lunch you can have a salad or green drinks, and then dinner have your regular meals for a few days or a week, and then eventually remove the heavy meal at night and
Do,
replace it
do
with
you
protein.
do you suggest not to eat late in the day?
It's better you don't, yeah. But like I said, life is not always perfect for everybody. So even if you did, just try and don't eat heavy starches and proteins. Have like a food bowl if you want. Let's say you wanted to snack at night. Let's say you
Hmm.
had your dinner at 5 or 6, and you wanted to snack. I would snack with fruits, and before I go to not just before bed, but let's say you're watching TV or something like that. You want something to eat, snack
Right.
on fruits, and then you'll be good.
Okay, I
But
have some questions here. In regards to the urine, is there any urine of the day you can check?
I'm sorry, I missed that completely. I
Is
apologize.
someone the same person asked, in regards to the urine, is any urine of the day you can check? Like, is it
Um,
the first urine of the day
the,
that you would
the,
check, or is it, you know,
no,
some other time?
the first.
Yeah, the first of the
Yeah,
day.
because I mean, at night your body is getting rid of waste, so you get up and you urinate. There's a lot of waste in there. You should see it. So yes, check your urine. It's very important.
So you're saying, what I just want to repeat what you said. When you get up, you should have fruit juices. Any preference in the morning?
My favorite is oranges. I like oranges and
Me
lemons.
too.
You could,
I love orange juice in the morning. Fresh
yeah,
press. I
freshly.
can't
Always,
live without it.
don't buy from the store. Okay, you gotta fresh.
No, I have a press. I
Yes,
fresh press it.
yes.
and I vary. Like I have oranges, and then sometimes I have grapefruit. I'm not a
Yeah,
good
mix it
grapefruit
up,
too
mix it up.
much.
It's fun.
It doesn't settle with me too much, so sometimes I do it depending on how I feel.
Yeah, sometimes even I'll have like a lemon shot, or it's very strong, but it's a mucus mover. It busts the mucus, so it's very strong. But have fun with it. Yes, absolutely. The melons,
And
grapes.
I saw on your feed that you mix it up too. You put
Yes,
oranges with grapes and lemons.
yes, and I have a sweet tooth, so I'll put like a stevia. You know the stevia drops.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's actually a protein, so it's not actually a sugar. But I like my stuff sweet, so I'll put some in there. Yeah,
Okay,
it's,
fantastic. And then so what, let's say I wake up at 7, I can have my fruit juice. And then should I drink water afterwards, or
yeah,
can
you can
I?
if you're thirsty. I love, but like to be honest with you, the only reason I put water here right now was because sometimes I speak so much. Like yesterday, the day before I did like 3 hours on a live, and my throat would get tired, so I drink water. But normally I don't drink water. Actually, to be honest with you, like it's not because I'm not avoiding it. It's because I don't get thirsty. I eat fruits and fruit juices, and that hydrates me. Occasionally, but if I'm thirsty, I will drink water. But I don't force it down. I don't literally
Right.
force
When
it
you're
down.
thirsty, drink water.
Yeah, exactly. When you're thirsty,
And I
drink.
think mainly the reason why we're thirsty is because we eat so much cooked food and
Yes, and you're
processed food.
dehydrated. At the cellular level, you're dehydrated. So, like I said, water is not always a solution, though. Hydrate with the fruits first, and then drink the water as well. It helps. Sure, maintain so much health. Yeah. So yeah.
So
Um,
the other thing is, you know, like on Instagram, we have a lot of young followers and young people, and many people are suffering. And we talked about rosacea. It's probably the same thing, acne.
yes. Well, most people, in fact, everybody today on the planet has weak adrenals and kidneys, without exception. And the older you are, the stronger they are. Because when we grew up, our parents didn't eat the foods that like the youngsters, the parents ate today. For instance, when I grew up in Ghana, we ate a lot of starches, but there was no processed foods. I didn't know what chocolate was. I didn't know what Diet Coke was or anything like that. So,
TV
um,
dinner.
yeah, no, I had no idea what those things were. Never went to a dentist before. Never went to a doctor. But everybody was healthy because we exercised a lot. We were in the sun. We ate foods that were not processed too much, not too much chemicals in it. So we have stronger genes, so to speak. But
Yeah.
um, if I ate like standard American diet and I had children, my children very likely, in fact, 99% of kids will have weak adrenals and kidneys because we have destroyed it with the foods we eat and the chemicals, etc. What we breathe in the air, it affects our kids. We don't realize it, but when you have children, before you have children, you should detox before you have a child because um,
Very good information.
very important because when you conceive at the moment of conception, the weaknesses are transferred to the child. So the child,
Wow.
children are born today and they have brain cancer at age 2 years old, and they have
Yeah.
yeah. I've seen eyes. Be honest with you, if you look at it, I thought, oh, this is an older person, and it was a newly born person.
Wow.
It's unbelievable, like the amount of degeneration that's occurring at a young age. It,
So what we're going to be seeing in the next 50 years is people with more chronic
I
diseases
think
at
if
an
we don't
early
change our
age.
ways, I don't think the human species will last that long. To be honest with you,
Wow.
we're full of diseases. It'd be unbelievable. I mean, it'd be great for the medical system, but I mean, in terms of pain and suffering, it'd be bad because the foods we're eating is not a normal foods. And there's so much information out there, and there's so many like professionals with huge followings pushing the wrong diets, people because they have studies on it, and it just cringes my heart to see people, push the wrong thing on people. But you can't say anything. Everybody has their own path to go to. But if I was
Right.
being, I was advising my children, I'd say, make sure your diet is full of fruits and veggies, and make sure that because your children deserve it. You don't want to give them even bad genes, worse genes. Sorry,
Right. And bad information, pretty
bad
much.
information as well.
uh, Information that's not really true. Listen, I give people information. Just because you give people information doesn't necessarily mean that you walk the walk and talk the talk all the
Yeah,
time. But at least you're saying the truth, and we're
yeah,
all going through the journeys of trying to better ourselves. But at least we have the information, and we're
yeah. I
not
mean,
lying to ourselves.
the first step is to be aware. Like most people are not
Exactly.
aware. They're walking around and they're repeating stuff they hear on TV, but they're not aware. They're not conscious. They're actually like robots walking around. And the moment you get awareness, you're ahead, because then you know that, okay, I may be eating meat and starches, but I know I shouldn't be doing it. And that alone pushes you towards the the side of healing, because if you didn't know, you'll be eating the same stuff and then wondering why you're getting sick. So at least have awareness. So there's nothing wrong with telling somebody something, and it's up to them to decide if they want to use it or not. I never,
Right.
I never enforce my views on someone else. If they think their way is better, I'm happy. I'm fine with it. It's up to you.
And the other thing is that many people struggle with is constipation. And you were telling me about adrenals. Can you tell people out there what's normal elimination?
Well, if you have a meal, you use the washroom an hour later at the most.
Did you hear everybody? Can you repeat that?
No, so if you have a meal, you should be able to use the washroom an hour later at the very least. So when you
Some
have
people go days without going.
Yeah, no, that's just horrific. That's beyond bad. That's like, it's really really bad, because when you consume food, the food sits in your system and it doesn't get eliminated. It festers and it breeds bacteria. And if worst case scenario, because it's acidic, it will start burning tissue and it can leak and go back into the blood, and then you have serious issues coming up. So no, I mean, if you're in the situation where you can't use the washroom for a long time, you need to. We have herbs called we call it the bowel strength, but it has herbs in there that will force elimination. It's not a laxative. Okay, it's a big difference between a laxative and herbs for strengthening the bowels. What you do is you take a bit of it and it will help you move, but it's not a laxative. And you focus on the fruits, work on the adrenals and the parathyroid, because the adrenals is what sends information, neurotransmitters to encourage peristalsis. So when you have bowel issues, you have a nervous system issue usually.
Yeah.
And then also your parathyroid also is weak, and and when the bowels get hard, when you're eating protein and starches, it gets hard and dry. It's hard to do peristalsis, so it gets congested. And because in the bowels, it's a bit like a wave. It goes like a wave, and it's when it's fluid and soft with the fruit diet, then it can move.
It goes. Yeah.
Yes, but when you eat protein and starches, it gets hard like a rock, and it can't move. You see, so that's one of the reasons. But this can take a bit of time to break. So if you're constipated for that long, I'll be on a fruit juice cleanse, green drinks, and I'll use tons of herbs until I get some kind of bowel movement, and then obviously adjust it as I go along. Yeah, it's a very severe problem. It's very, very dangerous, extremely dangerous. I mean, scary almost.
But you'd be surprised how many people, including myself, I struggle with constipation.
Yeah, I mean, I would use enemas. I would use anything just to get it out.
And I get colonics, yeah.
Yeah. Do whatever it takes to get it out, because you don't want it in there. You don't want it stuck in there. It's very bad for you. It's really, really bad.
So also tell us, I read also something about on your Facebook page and your other pages, something about Dr. Morse. I've never heard of.
Oh, okay. Dr. Morse is well, he taught me a lot of stuff. Actually, he taught me as well. Although I'm self-learned, Dr. Morse is biggest influence on me.
Influence on you.
Yeah, absolutely amazing guy. I met him personally. In this field, you gotta be an angel. Like, in other words, an angel meets another angel, so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah, and you cannot be in this field. I always say that if you eat a lot of fruits and veggies, it lifts you up spiritually, because when you eat foods like protein and starches, it's violent food. It's violence, and the violence is reflected in you and your spirit. So if you go on a fruit cleanse, you see it yourself. You lift it mentally and spiritually, because you're not harming any animal. I mean, even though you're going to the store and buying animal products already dead, your demand creates the need to kill them, right? So, and it's violent, and it stinks, and it smells, and you cook it and you put spices on it, but it's rotten food, literally. I'm not trying to insult anybody, but deep down it's true. You need to eat foods that smell good and taste good. You don't need any salt and pepper on it, and you can eat it. That's fruits, right? Yeah, so Dr. Morse is an influence on me, great influence on me. And yeah, he taught me most of the stuff I know. And I had influence from Dr. Sebi, not directly, but I've self-studied all the great natural hygienists. And my method is a combination of everything put together.
Everybody put together.
Yeah.
And you also have a book yourself.
Yes. So the book is right here.
Yeah, show it to us.
Yeah, so it's called, the title is kind of catchy. It says, How to Heal Yourself Even When They Say You Can't.
Right. And does that explain a lot of the things that you're telling us right now? Because it's a guide, right?
Yeah, it's a how-to book. It's nothing on theory here. So when I wrote this book, I wrote it for a reason. I wrote it for myself. I said to myself, if I could leave a piece of legacy for my loved ones, and if they had any issue and they wanted to get better, they could read the book and they would know immediately what to do. And so that's why I wrote it. It's not a lot of pages in there, but it's
Is that
concise.
also on your website?
Yeah, we have it on my website and also on Amazon. On my website, it's more expensive because obviously we have to ship it to you, etc. But on Amazon, it's cheaper. And yeah, so it's very, like I said, I think like 60 pages, maybe less.
So
And
this has that some of the information, like if you're constipated, what you should do, or if you're
it doesn't
menopause.
go specifically into issues, but it tells you if you how to start the whole process. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so you need to know the basics, and this shows you the basics. If you don't know the basics, then you can't heal any stuff because no matter what condition you have, it's always you're going to address the kidneys, the adrenals, the lymph system, and the bowels, as well as the endocrine glands. The fabulous five. Remember what I showed you here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we call it the fabulous five, not because of the herbs, but because of what it addresses. Fabulous
Okay.
five. So no
I'm
matter
just
what,
gonna
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead. Keep on going. I'm just gonna write the name of the book here and pin it for people so they can.
Yeah. Oh, you got it, or you need it?
No, no. I put I got it, and I'm typing it in here.
Yeah, okay. So basically, when you're trying to heal something, it's always the same base. It's always the same base. Doesn't matter what it is. The only difference is when you're trying to heal, say, a liver condition or constipation or everything. You just need to know what glands or organs are affected and what to correct. And we use the herbs for that. So it doesn't matter what you're trying to fix. Always, you're going for the fabulous five. Use the kidneys, the adrenals, the lymph system, stomach and bowels, and endocrine glands. And let's say you had liver issues, then you add herbs to liver. If you had issues with constipation, that's a trickier one because it's not so obvious. Like you need to use herbs for the adrenals and the parathyroid, and that's where people like me come in because unfortunately, there's no way I could put that in a book. It comes from experience. So, but the book is written in such a way that if you went on a cleanse in a book, you will feel better. You will get better, and then when you do get better, and maybe you're not reaching the point where you want to, then you can always find someone like me who can tell you, oh, you need extra herbs for this or that. But yeah, the book has the foundation. For instance, there's a lemon only cleanse in there, and if you follow it 3 weeks, your whole it will clean everything out of your body. Like you feel fantastic. It's one of the things I used to when you need to really help somebody immediately, quickly. It's a lemon only cleanse with the herbs. Powerful stuff. I mean,
Now, when they're going through this cleanse, will they be able to go to work?
oh, absolutely. When you're going to, first, when you go on a fruit diet, you're going to have a slump because what's going to happen is that when you get off all the poison foods, your
Yeah.
adrenals are being stimulated right now. And a lot of people like coffee. The coffee does two things. The coffee stimulates the adrenals, so it spikes it up. And the adrenals is the energy gland. But the unfortunate thing is that you're weakening it. So whenever you take the coffee every day, you need more and more and more. And when
Yeah.
you get off the coffee and you go on the fruits, now your adrenals are weak, so it slumps down, and the body's going to try and repair it and get it back to normal. The moment it comes back online properly, you have boundless energy, like boundless. I cannot describe this to you. Like you will not get hungry. You will never have this low energy levels. You will not feel depressed because all the glands are working properly. So, stimulants in our foods are stimulating the adrenals, but at a consequence, we're going to pay the price because when you get off these things, you're going to slouch. Remember that when your adrenals go down, your kidneys go down. And if your kidneys go down, your lymph system go down, and you start getting so-called diseases. It's from that. So do not.
And not to mention, you probably save money.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like I mean, my meal plan literally on a daily basis is fruit juice in the morning, and at lunch I'll have some apples and grapes, and very often I won't touch it until I come home. I have a big salad, and sometimes occasional cook vegan, but I don't get hungry. I literally don't get hungry. Also remember that the fruits are high nutrient dense foods. You just
Right.
take one apple, it's the equivalent of eating a big plate of starches, like without the negative side effects of it. So yeah, I mean, fruits is the way to go. It's just how do you transition to it, and do it gradually. If you're not in a if it's not an emergency, then you can take your time. If you're in an emergency, you need to fix things quickly. Then you go herbs and fruits like right now. Don't even question it, and then you use the herbs. But if you're coasting, you want to feel good, and then add fruits at least breakfast and lunch, and then dinner have your meal. That's what I
Okay.
do. Yeah.
And when you talk about cooked vegan, you're talking about like cooked vegetables. Do you recommend like grains?
No, grains are the worst too. They're like proteins, but you know, like I said, I come from Ghana, so Ghana we love starches. Like you know, we have the yams
Yeah.
and stuff like. So that's what I grew up with, and the rice. You know, I love rice. Rice is my favorite. Rice is one of the least acidic starches. So like wild rice is okay in moderation, and then quinoa is fantastic because
Quinoa. Yeah.
yeah, it's alkaline. But yams, potatoes, these are not foods. They're really bad. Cassava, they're really bad stuff for you. So you should try and avoid it. You know, but
Potatoes.
potatoes is very bad for you. Yeah, it's good when it's raw. It can heal you when it's raw. Like you know, you have like a sore or something, potato on it. A poultice is very good, but to cook it and eat it, no, it's not good at all. So
Okay.
it does have its purpose as a medicine, but not
As a food.
a
Yeah.
food.
As
Yeah,
a,
it
okay.
just makes you feel heavy and it clogs your whole system. It's like think of starches like paper mache. You know when you as a child you used to use paper mache, glue.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
take flour and you put it in water and it becomes a glue. Well,
Mm-hmm.
it coats your whole gut, you know, and take decades stuck in there and it stinks and it's black. We call it mucoid plaque. And sometimes when you detox, you see come out of you, it stinks and it's unbelievable what's inside you.
Someone said, what about oatmeal?
Um,
That's the same thing.
that's not a food at all. Again,
That's a
brainwashing
processed.
is
Yeah.
really bad for you. Even the steel cut ones are bad for you. You can make oat milk, like not processed oat milk, and it's medicine. But to cook it and eat it is not a medicine. No.
So pretty much to eat healthy is pretty simple foods and,
Yeah.
and not so complicated.
No.
But unfortunately, our society has bombarded us with too
Yes.
many options of too many things and sold us things that and created more things that we don't really need.
Yeah. And also, we are emotional eaters. We get depressed. You know, we are not. Our lives are not going where we want it to. So we get depressed, and we eat. The food gives us comfort. So when you do
Also,
this,
a social thing. We like to go out to dinner.
exactly. And then your friends that will pull you down, like without knowing, they'll be like, you know, they'll sabotage you. And you know, sometimes you gotta change your friends at least temporarily,
Yeah.
because you know, remember that when you're trying to grow, people don't like change and they'll pull you down. It's not because they hate you. It's because you know they want you to be. They want company.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
you know what I mean. So you gotta be strong. You gotta move on. Like especially if you're getting ill, don't mess around. Get new friends for temporarily and family.
Sometimes you may just need to be alone for a little bit
Yes,
to
absolutely.
heal.
Yeah, and also
So
when
let's
it's
talk a little bit about, we have a few minutes left, a little bit about, the time flies when you're having fun.
yes,
Uh, a little bit about iridiology.
okay. So I mean, iridology. So it's a lot of people. There are a lot of iridologists out there, but what they do is that they will give you a detailed reading and they'll show you your weaknesses. And but my beef about it is when I studied it, I said to myself, I don't want to learn. I mean, I'll learn what they know, but I don't want to be like them because I don't want someone to come to me and say, "Oh, give me an eye reading," and then I give them an eye reading and I tell them what's wrong, but I can't help them. So
Right.
it's very frustrating, you know, because
Yeah,
it will show you.
what good is it, to be quite
Yeah,
honest?
and also, I mean, it will tell you stuff that's wrong with you. It's no diseases, mind you. Iridology doesn't show you a disease; it shows you what's weak. But if you know you have a kidney weakness, it can disturb you, especially if you don't know what to do about it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And then
It
and
can
then you
stress
not
you out more.
yeah, then you go see your doctor and he'll give you medication, and then it makes things worse for you. So my iridology is unofficially called lymphatic iridology. So we look at the eyes and we find the weaknesses, especially with regard to the lymph system. Because remember that the lymph system is the system that's your immune system, is the main system that governs your health, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And by locating the weaknesses in your lymph system through the eyes, I can tell you what to heal, what not to heal. And in this regard, we used iridology as a tool to look to see what's weak in the eye and what's weak in the person without them knowing, so we can use the right herbs to address those. So
I
it's a game.
definitely want to do that for myself because, and everybody changes. And even though you feel healed, you want to like check on that. Like, right.
Yeah,
That's a way to check your progress.
yeah. It's work. I do it on myself, and I see my weaknesses as well. And like you know, I know what to do. I know what to keep an eye on, etc. You know, and you know, it shows you everything. Like you can. I as a child, I had my appendix removed. You know,
Okay.
and it was misdiagnosed, and there was. back in Ghana. They were giving me malaria tablets because they said I had malaria, but I had actually swollen appendix, and it took about a week and a half to actually diagnose it. They took it out, but it shows in the
Wow.
eye that it's like damaged. It's this weirdest thing. The actual fact that they removed it shows in the eye, in the eye reading. So
Wow.
it's pretty cool how it shows everything for you. But yeah, I mean,
That should be the scan to get like from one place to the other, like scan your
yeah,
eyes to
and
see.
it's non-invasive. It doesn't cost. I mean, like, okay, there's a cost to it because it takes time. But if you can read your own eyes, perfect. Why not? I mean, it's definitely worth it. So yeah, every single organ tissue is located there. You can find it. From the heart to your foot to your arms to your spleen. It's all in the eye. And so basically, what I do is I'll once I know what's weak, I'll tell you, okay, now you got to go 100% fruits. And I saw weaknesses in your adrenals. I saw weaknesses in your kidneys. And it's all adding up because you told me you had an issue with your constipation, and I saw that your eyes showed that you had adrenal issue. And it makes sense, adding up. And then sometimes someone will say like you have a thyroid issue, so you go to herbalist and he gives you herbs for the thyroid, but he's making a mistake because it wasn't your thyroid, it was your pituitary gland, and you wouldn't have known that had you not looked at the eye,
I see.
because the
Because
pituitary
one
gland.
affects the other.
Exactly. So it's not the thyroid that's the problem, it's the pituitary gland. So if you fix the pituitary gland, thyroid is fine. However, if you didn't know that and you try to address the thyroid, well, you don't want to excite the thyroid when it's already excited. You want to address the pituitary gland so that it can fix the thyroid for you and the information relay. Because as you know, the pituitary gland it sends a message to the thyroid to produce hormones for it. So it allows you to see stuff that you were not able to see and fix it in a good way.
I love that. So how do we go about, scheduling something like that?
On my website, I have it there, themirrorherbals.info, and
Okay.
I have the service there as iridology, as the detailed reading, and there's also a one eye reading. I put the one eye reading for people who couldn't afford it and who wanted just to see a glimpse of what issues they have, even though the eyes are different. Like your left eye is different than your right eye because the human.
Different areas of the body?
No, it's the same. But remember,
Oh.
although we're one person, we're actually split in two.
Mm-hmm.
We have two kidneys, we have two,
Right.
adrenals, and they work differently. They work together, but they work differently. So your left side and right side is not the same, right? It's almost like two parts put into one, but you're actually two parts.
Yeah, you could feel that even, one area,
Yeah,
when you're affected, you're right-handed like me. Everything affects me on my right side too. Like
yeah,
whatever pains or whatever, it's on my right side.
yeah. And
I
also
don't
to
get
mean
them on
that
my left side.
it also means
For
that
me
if you have a
personally.
right side pain, it means that your kidneys very likely is weak on the right side and strong on the left. So you have pains on the right because kidneys are not working properly, as the
Yeah.
left is.
Now we talked about us human beings, but many of us have other things we love that are beings, pets. What do you recommend for them real
Well,
shortly?
a pet, you're gonna feed the food for its species. For instance, a cat, you want to give it raw meat and the herbs. If a dog is very close to a human being, not the same species, but they eat the same way. So I'll give a dog high fruit diet. They love fruits, and very little protein, and no grains, and give them the herbs as well. So the species, depending on the species, a bird, I would give the bird seeds, no
Hmm.
processed stuff. You give the species the food it's designed to eat truthfully, and then give the herbs, and then the animal will recover. The same way
So
as
you're
human beings.
saying that dogs eat fruit as well,
Absolutely, yeah.
and that
I
we
love,
should feed them fruit?
yeah. The dog will tell you which fruit it likes. There's a misconception about grapes. Okay, people say grapes are bad for dogs. I've seen the dogs eat grapes, no problem at all.
My
So
dog, especially cold ones, they
yeah,
like it.
see. So, I mean, they're like human beings. They have their own preferences, right? There's certain foods you
Yes.
don't give them. I'm not a dog owner, but I know, my sister-in-law has a dog, and whenever I'm eating watermelon, the dog eats a whole watermelon, and it loves it. It wants more. So, yeah, give the dog a high food diet, no grains, zero grains, and give them some meat, but not a lot because dogs have very, very poor kidneys, and that's why you see in their eyes they have the pus in their eyes.
Yeah,
That's
that, and they get you if they have light hair, you see them that they get that
yes.
red stain.
That's kidneys. Dogs have horrible kidneys, and because of the way we've bred them, there's no dog, very few dogs on the planet that have good kidneys because they've been
So
bred, interbred.
so in the same thing, should I give my dog like fruits in the morning and then give them their, I feed my dog raw dog food.
Yeah, that's a good plan. So not too much protein. Go low on the protein. Okay, it's a
So just
misconception.
basically, I only feed my dog once a day with her
Yeah.
raw food.
Well, I mean, you can combine the raw food with some veggies. You know, it's
Right.
slightly boiled, or even some like it raw, some like it raw, some don't. You have to test and see.
That's to
But
see.
the more raw the food is, the better, because you're not killing the enzymes. But
Right.
dogs, I would definitely give them fruits here and there as treats. You know, find the one that your dog likes and give him to him, because it cleanses the body, it moves the lymph system, and protein is very bad for the dog, because again, the dogs have weak kidneys. So
Wow. And all this time you're being told dogs
yeah,
need
well,
protein.
think about it. Why are they doing that? Because they're giving you the remnants of the animal industry. They want to get rid of the remnants, and animals and dogs are the perfect buyers, because, I mean, dog owners are perfect buyers, because you can sell the pieces of meat that you can't sell to a human. You can process it and make it into a dog food. So no,
Right.
it's not good. It's not good advice. You should be low protein, because very bad kidneys they have, and high on veggies and fruits. And also, dogs you should dry fast them once in a while. Like, don't give them any food or water, or water fast them, because they need a break. The system needs a break.
Yeah.
And a dog he will eat everything you put in front of him. A
That's
cat
true.
won't. Yeah. So starve your dog a bit. When I say, I don't mean in a negative sense. I mean, give his system a break once in a while, like
Yeah.
a
It's
fast.
funny. My dog does that on her own. Like sometimes I
Yeah.
put the food that she won't eat. And
No, if
I
it's
don't
sick,
think too much of it. Someone else is like panicked, like, oh my God, she didn't eat today. She
no.
just knows not to eat. She don't want to
Yeah,
eat.
they know instinctively when they're sick, they should eat less. They should fast. So I mean, some people when they are trying to heal their dogs, we give them kidney tea. Instead of the tea here, we use it for ourselves, the humans. But you can make a tea for your dog, and
Oh,
and as water, and let them drink it. Some won't, some will. But the tea, it helps the kidneys the same way as helps us.
and someone said here, and real quickly, because we have 3 minutes, what about wheatgrass? When I drink wheatgrass, it doesn't sit well with me. It's like
Yeah.
too deep. I feel like maybe it's too detoxing or something. Like it's
Well, wheatgrass, like I said, you see, it's a great thing to have, but it's not a detoxifier like a fruit is. There's no comparison. It has a lot of minerals and vitamins. It does, yes, but not a detox. If you want a detox, you go on a fruit diet to cleanse, and then you can add the green drinks, as enemas, or drink it once in a while, but not. Don't bank on the wheatgrass to heal you. My point is,
okay.
there are a lot of people.
I can't drink that first thing in the morning.
No,
It actually makes me sick.
yeah, I used to drink it. I don't drink it anymore. Not because it's bad, but because it takes too much effort to squeeze it. Number two, it doesn't have the same effect as a fruit anyway. So I don't bother with it. Yeah, but you can have it if once in a while. It's good, but don't bank on it to heal you. My point is, it's not a cleanser.
Fantastic. So we're almost done here. Please repeat the code for the people and the website address so we can
Okay,
go and get what we need
okay.
or
So I
schedule
mean,
something with you.
so for those out there, I want to make something clear. See, although I have herbs, I don't like pushing my herbs on people. Why? Because I want you to be committed. I want you to be on the path to know why you're doing this, and then you invest in the herbs. When you invest in the herbs, you're committing yourself. But the herbs are there to help us heal. They clean and strengthen the cells. So the fruits will cleanse the body lymph system, and the herbs will attack and address the cells. So you have kidney herbs, you have lymph herbs, etc. So ideally, you always want to be, if you choose to use the herbs. If you don't use the herbs, then that's a different story. But if you use the herbs, you always want to be on the kidney tea. I showed you here the kidney tea, and you also want to be on the Fabulous Five. The,
So those are the two most important to start
yeah,
with.
the minimum, because the Fabulous Five addresses the main systems, and the kidney tea gives that extra punch for the kidneys to heal. So you do that, and that's the basic one. And one bottle will last you about 3 to 4 weeks, which is perfect for a good cleanse. But remember that if you're trying to heal a condition, you gotta go until you fix it, right? But if you just want a regular cleanse, one bottle of the kidney tea is fantastic. It will
And
take
do
you.
you always have to be on the herbs or is it something that you
No, like buy a bottle, you use the bottle up, and then you're done. You can cycle out, take a break, and come back again if you want.
got you? You
Right?
don't have to be on that forever is what I'm
No,
trying.
no. Even though, like, if you see my cabinet, like I think I have like 17 of them, and I take them every day. So I take quite a bit of them, but but I believe in them. Sometimes if I don't want to sleep quickly, and I want a more restful sleep, I have herbs for that. I'll take the herbs.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So they are our little friends.
You
They help
reach
us.
for them when you need them.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you take a medication. Long time ago I used to take the gravel. When you have nausea, and
Yes.
and I had an old box. Sorry, and I read the back and it said, don't, it causes liver damage or kidney damage or something like that. I'm like, oh my god, I used to take this. I used to take this quite a bit, and you're taking stuff you don't know what you're taking. It's harming you. Whereas the herbs, they don't do that to you. They don't harm you that way. You know what I mean? So my throat is acting up. Sorry. So
That's
yeah, okay. The code is to 20 off. So it's 20OFF. Okay, and you go to mereherbals.info, and anything in the cart is 20 off.
fantastic. Fantastic. Oh my God. Thank you so much,
Okay, and
Maraby, for
quickly,
coming on.
for you and for everybody else, listen, I'm here to help you. Okay, so like, you reach out to me. No question is silly. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm just
That's
one
right.
person, but I will get your question, and it might take a bit of time, but I always answer every single direct message or comment. And if I miss it, please ask again, because my goal is to help you, and if I can, I will, so that you can help others as well.
Fantastic. And
Okay?
I'm going to get your book and I'm going to, start a little bit with the fruits. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit you back with my progress
Absolutely, please do. I'd love to hear that. Absolutely.
because
And
I
any
think that's
question,
important, right?
I tell everybody who buys my stuff to let me know how it's going, because if you need direction, I'm there to help you.
As well as, schedule something for iridology.
Yeah, iridology as well. Yes, it's all on the website. So the 20% applies to everything you put
Can
on.
you do that remotely?
I do it only remotely. So what you do is that when you buy the package, I'll tell you to take a picture of your eye. You send me the picture. I'll
I
read it.
see.
I'll make a video of it, a video read, and I'll send you the video on YouTube, and you watch the video. And I also send you a recommendation of what to do to fix it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Again, thank you so much
And
for coming on with me today. Was so excited to meet you. You're wonderful. Thank you so much for helping everyone in the community. You're doing great work, and I am in awe of everything that you're doing. And again, I thank you so
I
much.
thank you as well. I thank you for taking the time. I thank every single one of you watching for your time as well. I know you could be doing other things, but you're using it to educate yourself. So thank you, and God bless you, and all my heart and love to you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.